All aboard and welcome to our podcast, GoddeSShips. Tonight's topic, Whatifships Part 2. What would you do? For those of you who are returning, thank you for your continued support and welcome back. And for those of you who are just joining us, welcome, goddesses and guys. Remember that we are also available wherever you listen to your podcasts, including Spotify and iHeartRadio. And you can always watch our lovely and handsome faces and our icons on YouTube. I am Keely, the Soul Snatching Goddess.
And I am Melinda, the FACKTgoddess, F.A.C.K.T. We want to thank you for joining our podcast tonight. We want you to like, share, and subscribe and bang the notification bell so you can be one of the first to be notified when we have new episodes.
Hello, world. I'm FloydGod, little person advocate.
As usual. I have shirt cam just for tonight because since it's Whatifships, I'm just here for the comments.
That's how it's been for the last few weeks. Nobody's just been coming for the comments.
The comments have been interesting.
Right.
All right. So warning, these are just scenarios. And even if they were true, here on GoddeSShips, we protect the innocent. And we don't put nobody on Front Street but ourselves. So no names shall be used. So, Fat Goddess, would you like to start us off this evening?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Sorry I missed you last week, and I might only be on here briefly this week. Got a little relocating from one state to the other situation going on. So I will definitely be 100% present on the next episode. Thank you to the faithful fans that keep it going with the Soul Snatching Goddess and FloydGod. I heard it's been piping hot in the comments. So my what if is, my first one is you start dating someone, you start liking this someone that you're dating, and it comes to a point where it's going to get serious. And this person that you're dating lets you know that they have a best friend of the, opposite sex or whatever that they used to date. And that person isn't going anywhere. And that's just something that they want you to know moving forward. What if?
So am I meeting this person? Like, do I know this person? Like, are they interacting with me and they done came over to the house and all of that?
That is a serious possibility.
Well, that matters because if they in the dark and I ain't gonna never meet them and they can't come around and I can't peep y'all vibe with each other, that's an issue.
No, they wouldn't be in the dark.
I mean, you're saying, yeah, you done told me that they're there, but what I'm saying is by in the dark is they ain't never coming around. We all hanging out. They ain't bringing no significant other, nobody else around either. They y'all just hanging out and that's it. You know, I'm just asking.
So are you saying that would that be a request or would that already be in place?
That needs to already, like, I need to meet this person first and foremost. If they coming around to our house, because they gonna have to come around to our house because I need to peep y'all vibe so I can see y'all when y'all interact with each other. Because it's a thing when it's a thing, and it's a thing when it ain't a thing that you can peep.
Right.
And so I need to see all of that in an environment here. We all can hang out. And if we hanging out, let's double date. Bring your boo. And we all together, not you the third wheel when we go out. Like, I mean, I just need to know.
But it's like their best friend. It might not be a double date situation.
Oh, best friend need to have a best friend on the side then, because something going on. I'm sorry.
You saying best friend need to have a significant other, right, Keith?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or at least be dating somebody or actively dating.
Right, like a motherfucker just gonna be hanging around with, yeah, I'm gonna hang out too.
Yeah, I want you to be the third wheel all the damn time. Where your person at?
Mm-mm.
for people.
Mm-mm.
So you're saying that this best friend that you used to date has to have a significant other in order for them to still be present.
Shit. I'm gonna say.
I mean, they don't have to have a significant other, but they need to be actively dating, and that
Uh-huh.
actively dating whoever it is, it could be multiple, a string of motherfuckers come through, but somebody got to come through with you sometime.
Everybody ain't gin for that shit either, though. Everybody ain't going for nothing like that. Not in the world we live in. The average brother gonna, if it's a dude, if it's a lady with an ex person, and now they best friends, the average man gonna be like, man, hell no. Why that's your best friend? Fuck out of here. I mean, the average guy. I mean, it really just depends on how that
Because
person
dudes
is,
always thinking that if they done
right?
did once, they can go back again.
Because if the tables was turned and it was a guy, and he had a woman that he was with, and then they became best friends, the average woman is not trying to hear that shit. They make talk shows about this all the time. So no, I think things would go terribly awry, and it would never be a comfortable situation. But again, that depends on the psyche of the person. But the general populace ain't going. I can tell you that. Most men and women ain't gonna be trying to hear that. There's gonna always be some
side-eye question, because as soon as
yeah.
y'all get a little too cozy, y'all know too much about each other, more than y'all vibing, more than we vibing. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because if y'all really are truly best friends, they know a lot about you.
And y'all was intimate on top of that. Y'all was in a relationship. So that's a double whammy. So if the new person trying to bond with the new person, well, everything you bonded with that new person, you probably did with that old person. So now all y'all in the same room, and now the new dude leaned over and peck you, and that other dude like, I used to peck you like that too.
Stephanie said, I don't care if I can't trust you. Why am I with you?
Okay,
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie.
Listen, it's plenty of game runners that's up in these pieces around here, and they will bring somebody around in your face and say, "Hey, best friend,
Let me tell you something.
best friend."
Let me tell you something. I didn't see it in action. Girl be like, "That's my cousin." They be fucking the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Hey, your cousin, babe. Hey, your cousin. Oh, we best friends. Yeah, in front of you, mama. But behind closed doors, there's the propensity for fuckery.
Well, I can understand that, but in that case, FloydGod, that person is just straight up lying about that person being her cousin.
I'm saying that to say, I'm just using that as an example to say this all falls under the whole trust issue, the whole, these are the things that come to people's minds because we live in a world where these things happen at a very large rate. So, it's going to be bad. But right, it is a big difference, but it kind of falls under the same category. People are still going to have that side eye.
Stephanie said, then they aren't the one and move on.
Yeah, okay. Also, you agree? You said it's okay to be best friends with an ex?
She just said, if I can't trust you, why am I going to be with you?
I'm trying to get some clarity over here. That's all. I'm asking my
thing is this. Let's take out the gender part of it and think of what your best friend knows about you. So Melinda, I know it's certain stuff that you can't eat. I know it's a certain way that you want your drink. I know certain things about you. Now put all of that I know into a male body in front of your male friend, and I'm exuding all of that in front of him. It looks suspicious. I don't give a fuck how much I trust you. The shit don't look right. It don't feel comfortable. It just ain't. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it sideways because you like, oh, can you go make me a drink, friend? Yeah. You ain't got to ask nothing. I ain't got to ask you what you want because I already know what you want. I know what you need in your drink. I know what you want on your plate. I'm bringing you a plate, friend, because I see you sitting here with your boo, but I'm going to bring you a plate because I already know what you eat and what you don't eat. I ain't even have to ask you nothing. All of that feels weird to a significant other that y'all are in the same space.
I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But let me say this.
This has been there.
this isn't necessarily also someone that's around 24/7 though. Like it's not like they're um in your space all the time, like a third wheel, how you were making reference to a third wheel. That's just what the significance of the relationship is, or the connection.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand what you're saying.
Stephanie said if they've been friends forever, they would know that though, which is true.
I think the and to what you're saying, Keely, the only difference is it's the opposite sex and they used to date. But I guess I could
And
say,
see, I guess the used to date part is the part that still
but I
get me.
think everybody can think about somebody that they used to date and they didn't work as a relationship, but they're good friends. They don't necessarily have to be best friends, but I think it's possible for you to be friends with somebody that you used to date when it didn't work out in a romantic way.
Um, I don't really have one.
I think it's levels to the friendship though.
Yeah, because so for me, if so, my thing is, if you have a friend that's the opposite sex and y'all have just been friends forever, I'm not gonna take that relationship to anything else. My problem comes in if y'all have been intimate with each other previously. That's where my questioning comes. But it's kind of
So,
like
so you're not friends with anybody that you were intimate with previously?
not technically,
Not friends?
not all the way friends. We dip back sometimes.
You dip back sometimes.
Dip back sometimes. Like I
No, I'm
said,
talking about somebody that you ain't dip back to.
no. Because if I wasn't gonna dip back, what are you around for? I'm still best friends with my daughter's father. We just don't swing like that anymore.
Yeah, but see,
So
when
you
you
have to be
talking
cordial.
about
Yeah, you have to be cordial with
when you
a
got
friendship.
children, but
Yeah,
even then, if you
that's definitely a different level.
Yeah.
no, because if you meet somebody new, that guy may not be feeling that. It depends on what the level is. Like if okay, so just speaking, if it's a woman and she got children, right? I hate saying kids, a kid, a baby go. Woman got children, right? With the person, and then her and that person don't get along, and then she meet a new person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the new person has came in and has done everything that the man is supposed to do. He look out for the children, he do his part in their relationship because they all living together, this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the father of said aforementioned children has the right to be a good co-parent. But as far as being your best friend and all that, no, that guy's gonna have an issue with that.
So I'm cordial with my kid's father to an extent. Because he know he can still get it at any point in time. He fuck around and say the wrong thing. However,
Wait,
our dynamic when I was
I think we
married,
need to clarify what
yeah, he can get
get it
what?
means.
What are you talking
I mean, like
Get it can go either way.
get cussed out, fucked
Okay,
up,
right, yeah,
all
you
of
got to
that.
clarify this for
Oh
this.
yeah, not get this.
That's why I was on the same
Oh,
page
not
with
get
Lord
this.
God. I was like,
Right,
That
right.
that Negro can never touch none
No,
of this. Not a
some
now
people may
another.
misconstrue that as
I'm sorry. Let me be very clear. That nigga can't come. Huh? No, not with a pole and his penis on the end of the pole, and then there's a pole on the end of his penis. None of it can't touch me. Nada. No, no. So, but what I'm saying is, so for instance, his family and I, and when I was married, when Daryl was alive, we all had, it took a little second, but we were all at a point where we could go to a family function party, hang out, Christmas, breakfast, we could do at his family house. Daryl was there because Daryl already knew it ain't nothing that this Negro can do for me, period. And they had a talk and conversation, so they already knew. But I mean, it was known that it's known I don't want no parts of this nigga, and everybody know, cause I will bust the windows out of all his house, cars, everything. If you fuck around the wrong way, cause that's how much I disdained for him at one point in time. But I got to a better point of calming down and working on me and getting over that. And so I can be around him in whatever setting and it don't bother me and it didn't matter. And because of what our level of none, whatever was, and disconnect, my husband was okay with us being in certain situations. So, but we weren't gonna be nowhere alone because I don't want to be nowhere by myself with that nigga.
Well, I know we have other what ifs, so I don't want to take up a lot more time with this particular one. But I will just say this is a real life scenario for me, just so viewers know that it is possible. And my best friend Keely and my male best friend actually know each other and interact with one another.
Mm-hmm.
So my case, I guess, could be very different and very unique in comparison to how people may feel about it in other take regard to it in other ways. But I don't have any of those issues, and it's very rare because it's not something that where I'm with him on a regular basis or kicking it with him on a regular basis. I haven't really met any men that were like, well, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Whether it worked out in the end or not, that didn't have a major effect on the situation.
Well, I will say this. Your situation is slightly different, but I will say also that some certain male friends, if I've talked to them, they still ask what's up with y'all. And they try to gauge me off of y'all and figure out if it's whatever. Because they still have questions.
Yeah, but I'm saying it ain't never stopped them from talking to me.
But it still did pose questions.
That's gonna happen, period. Yeah, I get that part, but I'm just saying it doesn't mean that somebody will completely become uninterested.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So my second, did you have anything else?
Go ahead. No. Mm-mm.
FloydGod, you good? Huh?
I'm waiting for the next question.
So the next one was, what was the next one? Oh, dating men that are in prison. Is that it? What if you find out he's in prison after you start talking to him?
It's a no-go.
After you start talking to a nigga, gotta be like collect call from Dixon.
No.
Oh, nigga got cell phones in the joint.
They have iPods and cell phones in jail.
This is true. Brothers got phones.
And they be wearing regular clothes, sending pictures in regular.
But if a brother call you and you hear in the background, lock it, dog, you already know what time it is.
You don't. So again, you talking to a brother. It gets the flowing, and then later on, he like, well, there's something I need to tell you.
Stephanie said, hell no.
It's something I need to tell you. I'm in the belly of the beast.
And you're going to remain there. So I'm gonna say this, right? So I used to tell my husband, God rest his soul, all the time that Jesus did stuff to where we missed each other on purpose until the timing was right. So he did 10 years in prison when he turned 8 back. I think he turned 18 when he got locked up. So he was in there from 18 to 28. And I would have not talked to him while he was in prison. Like the communication, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not writing no letters. I ain't professing my love to stay true to you. All these 10 years that you're going to do, I'm not coming to do no visits. Buddy, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I appreciate your plight, but I'm out. So he ain't run into me until after all of that happened. And even though we was friends when we were younger, that time span, I didn't talk to him, didn't know him, didn't see him, none of that, because I wouldn't have. I said, Jesus work that thing right on now. He maneuvered you around till it was time for you to meet me, because otherwise, baby, you wouldn't have liked me at all. You would be like, that bit.
Well, from the male perspective, it depends on what she looked like and how soon she getting out. But it ain't gonna be no dating. It's just probably gonna just be some bugging.
You're gonna be on love after lockup.
Not at all. That is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm so upset with people in this world for that damn show. Especially that brother from Virginia. I just want to whoop his ass, kick him in his fucking chest.
I love that show.
I can't stand it. I want to fucking kill him.
Which one was from Virginia? The black dude that was dating the white
Goofy
girl?
Ma, the one goofy brother.
That was dating the white girl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was so dumb. Oh, my God.
Oh, he back. He back with another
He
one.
back?
What?
Oh, see, I done missed it. I'm going to have to go back and catch up. Stephanie said, shaking my head.
I'm just joking. I mean, I'm joking. Like, I'm not in that mode no more. But, you know, like 10 years ago,
You would have just depending on
I
how she
wouldn't have
looked.
dated her. I wouldn't have dated her. We just would have just had a sexual relationship for the first 3 months, because she, depending on how long she's been locked up, because it's
Oh,
been
when she
marinated.
first get out.
Right, like if she say I done like 10 years, and she about to get out in 4 weeks, then I'm gonna let her know, yeah, we can kick it, because this been marinating for a decade. It's the vice grip, and I need
it might not be. You know they be fucking in prison, right?
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Guards.
Didn't know what she did. But if she was gay all them years, then I'm in the game.
Oh, you all right with a carpet being munched?
I mean, you know, because I'm a penetrator, so I don't. You chew that motherfucker all you want. That's better for me. That means it marinated. It marinated. Vice grip. Kegels. Instant Kegels.
You know they also make dildos in there.
I wouldn't be surprised what they make in that damn place.
Yeah. F.A.C.K.T. Goddess.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said, your turn to answer.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a problem with it, because I know I have friends and family members that were incarcerated, some of them wrongfully. So everybody that go to jail ain't necessarily even supposed to be in jail, first of all. And we already know what the penal system does as far as sentencing. So I think that just depends upon the individual, just like any other form of dating.
But like I said, she on her way home and she been gone for 10 years. This penal system gonna work in her favor. How about that? Let me stop tripping, man. I'm just talking shit. But that was funny, penal system. Go ahead. I had to throw that in there.
If you don't work out for whole mess.
Those are my two.
Okay. All right. I guess I shall go next.
All right.
So I watch the Miss Pat show that comes on BET Plus. And Stephanie says she can't with you, Floyd. And the season finale of season 2 was a what if situation. So y'all know I joke, even though I ain't doing nothing to get pregnant, but if my tubes are tied and if I get pregnant, y'all know I say I'm throw this helmet on and doom, 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 doom. I don't condone that for nobody else, but don't judge me, because I ain't have no more kids. I'm not starting over. It's not gonna happen. But anyway, so on the Miss Pat show, she's in her 40s, and she realizes that her tubes were tied, and she goes to the doctor. She's feeling a little ill, whatever going on, and she thought she was going into menopause because her cycle didn't come. But he actually told her that she was pregnant. And this is in the midst of her just finding out that she was about to go on this big tour. She's on the show. She's a stand-up comedian as well as in real life. And so she was supposed to start this tour. So her career was about to take off. Her kids are, I think both of the youngest were in high school. So she's just like, I'm not starting over. Now she's married, but she was not up for discussion about whether or not to have an abortion, which she had decided to do with her husband. So the what if is, I know that we have all this stuff going on with Roe versus Wade and, people telling women what to do with their bodies, but is it a different situation or scenario if you're married? Should your husband have a possible say, because he wanted to keep the baby? And she was like, I don't care what you put in me, but ain't nothing coming out, was a line in the show. So she had already scheduled the abortion. She was not up for discussion. And then at the end of the show, she had actually gone and done it.
Well, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I mean, marriage is a partnership. So I think we have to look at, it's not a conversation about what you're doing with your body and your rights to your body. I think at that point, it's about a partnership. And ultimately, she does make the decision about her body. I get that. Like, ultimately, that does come into play. But by them being married, that's the conversation they should both have. So, and based on what you said happened toward the end.
Yeah, Stephanie said, yes, it should be talked about, but I'm still going to say it should be no. Fat Goddess? Is she there? She might be. She might be away from the computer. So for me, that is like such a tough thing, because, and I was partially on the fence with this when I was married, because I told my husband before we got married, my tubes are tied. I'm not having no babies. I'm not in the business of starting over. However, he had not had any biological kids. So I said to him, when he decided he was proposing, and he proposed, I said, before we go any further, I know you ain't got no kids. I ain't trying to have no more kids. Do you want to go out and sow your royal oats with somebody and figure out a baby over there, then come back and see me after you done did whatever you're going to do? Because I'm not going through none of that. I was already at, Stephanie says she has 6 with a grandchild and she don't want to start over.
Well, that's an extenuating circumstance.
Yeah.
So you should.
So what happened? I asked him that question. He said he was good with my kids being his kids, whatever. But then once we got married, he started asking about having a baby and me getting my tubes reversed. And I was like, dude, we talked about this before all of this happened. What's going on?
I mean, if I always said, if I ended up dealing with somebody that didn't have children, because me personally, like my children in their 20s, they're grown as hell. But if I met someone or I ended up wanting to be with someone or was with someone that doesn't have children and they desire to have children, I'm more than likely going to be like, okay, because I don't want them to feel cheated. Now, am I going to be upset that I'll be 65 at the fucking prom? Of course I'm going to be upset. Am I going to be upset that I'm 65 and I'm going to the high school football game? Of course I'm going to be upset. But I don't want to cheat that person out of the opportunity that I had. You know what I'm saying? So I would have a child. I would have a child, but I would make sure
he thought he could change your mind. She said my oldest is 27. So for me, I told him, because even with the reversal, it's a very, very slim chance that a child could happen. So if that's something that he really wanted to do, he had to start his own savings account and save to pay for the reversal and save for some fertility treatments. And if he did that, I would consider it. Because for me, that shows you all the way in, beyond all the way in. Because you're going to have to stack some money on the side and still pay these bills over here. So if you want it, go get it. She said you guys don't have to carry the baby, Floyd.
Hey, what is y'all take? I ain't saying shit. If I meet a woman and she don't have children and she want to have a child, I'm with it, because I don't want to deprive her. Now
she said, gotcha. She said,
gotcha. Oh, okay. But I'm gonna tell you this: my youngest son, because both my children by the woman I was with, but I'm just saying, her tubes was supposed to be tied, and she got pregnant with my youngest son.
Ooh, she said, like in the episode, you must have knocked him loose.
That's that San Pedro skizzle, anyway. But I'm just saying, so but I getting back to the question at hand, that is heavy, because she's contemplating her career, the next 25 to 30 years of her life.
And she's in her 40s. That's
right.
dangerous.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would, even if I got with somebody who wanted to have children and we had one, I would do it, but I would still be mad being 20. I'm 65 and we at the fucking prom. I'm gonna be upset, but I'm gonna love my child. But I'm just saying, right? So yeah, I get it, but I think that right. Exactly. That's my point. I'm with you, but I think that based on what you said ended up happening at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what was foul about it.
Yeah, because he was so angry.
The decision,
he was like, we should have discussed this. I feel like I should have had a say.
The final decision should have been, even though, yes, it's her body. I get it all, that we ain't got to go in that Roe versus Wade bullshit, which really wasn't about y'all any motherfucking way, but we'll talk about this some other time. But the right to choose, even though it's her choice, that's her husband and they're partners. They walk through life together. So even if the ultimate decision was, I'm going to do it, there needed to be an understanding, even if they didn't agree, as opposed to her just going to do it and he didn't even know. Like, that was foul. You know? Yeah.
Stephanie said, once again, I can't with you, Floyd.
I'm just saying.
And Jackie said, I don't think I can do it. That's adding 18 years to my sentence.
Shit,
more than 18 years, because once they grown, they still around.
25 to 30, because the reality is, in this world we live in, you got to make sure your kids are straight. Like, you know, because it's the way the world going now, if you got young children right now, you might as well expect to keep your children around you till they at least 24, 25. And make sure that they are financially set. Because if you let them go out here, they are going to be fucked in the game, because this world messed up right now. So, you know.
That's why my two's still in there. Jesus
yeah, God. So, you know.
Stephanie said exactly, and Jackie said true.
But if I had another child, I would make sure that my finance was in order. And I would also, you know, find me a nanny or something, you know. African sister, you know, I know gonna look out for my kid. You know what I'm saying?
That gotta say you still there.
So yeah, so that was that.
Well, FACKTgoddess, jump on whenever you decide that you want to jump in and let us know. But yeah, so yeah, it was that was a very tough episode to watch, because a lot of the language was geared towards it's her choice and it's her body, and that he really shouldn't have a say in how she or what she decided to do, which I didn't totally agree with, only because there's a marriage in place. It wasn't like this was a person that you had a one night stand with and he like, oh yeah, keep my baby, and you don't know what the what of nothing is, and it ain't no skin in the game. They had been married for I forgot how many years on the show. And he also he basically was kind of like what my husband did. He took on her kids that were by other people, and he was in the father acting role, and he's like, have a child with me, let's do it.
Right.
And
in a way he deserved it. Now here's the reverse though. So I watched Afro TV. I've been watching Afro TV. They show like a lot of Nigerian movies, and it's like, so there's one movie I was watching. The lady got pregnant, and she had a miscarriage, and so they was real sad. I guess in Nigeria they like real big about having families and stuff. So, so she got pregnant again, and the doctor was like, "Look, you know, if you go through with this, you're gonna die. There's a chance you can die. There's a chance." And so she was like, "Look, I'm getting an abortion. I'm not going to do this." And the husband was like, "You're going to have this baby. I don't care. You're going to have it." So that's a conflict. Like, you know, where do you draw the line? Like, you know, her body, her choice. Like, she about to die in this one. Like, so, you know.
But at the end of the day, every time that a woman has a baby, that's the closest that she comes to death.
To death, right? Exactly.
So I mean, it's always that chance.
Yeah, especially for sisters. Yeah, it's a tough statistic out there for sisters in childbirth.
Yeah. But it was just I was like, it was a little because I'm like, now they have this strained marriage because he resents her, even though he's saying, like he was saying, I really want to try, have this baby with me. We in this together. She was gung-ho on the no-go. And it's kind of like, they brought up the thing of her age because she's technically considered a geriatric pregnancy because she's in her 40s.
Right.
And so that's dangerous. And then for her, in her mind, I've been working so hard towards my career, and now I just get posed with going on tour with this big name comedian. I'm about to blow up, and I'm gonna have to be pregnant with this baby. Then even if I go on tour pregnant, I'm gonna have to stop at some point, have the baby, nurse the baby, and get in. They might replace me with somebody else, and then now I'm at nothing.
Well, I have a plan for that, but I digress.
What's the plan?
She go ahead, because if I was the husband, I'd say, look, go on, keep the baby, right? You go on, get ready to have it. We already prepare for that. Let them know in advance. Women don't have to sit down that long these days after they have these babies, depending on, the health situation, right? Freeze up all the breast milk. I deal with the baby while you're on the road. You know what I'm saying? We work it out like that.
Well, how's she gonna freeze up breast milk? It got to be pumped like regularly.
Oh, okay, well then maybe we won't freeze breast. We'll find an alternative. Maybe that's what the nanny would be for.
The baby will be oh hell no. No, that's a whole nother situation.
I'm just playing. That nanny milk. All right, I'm done. Carry on. What else you got?
FACKTgoddess is not here for that one, so we're gonna move on to my last one. So this one was sent by one of our faithful viewers, Miss Tasha. So it says that he's everything I wanted in a sexual partner. He's 6'2", large hands and feet, bald, black and bearded, but he gave me oral for a half an hour. I wanted to get to the main show, and then I saw his micro penis. It didn't even tickle me. I've been catfished. What can he do to make it grow? So the people who this was posed to did an update and said that they called the advice seeker, and they found out that the 6'2", bald, bearded black guy with the micro penis was born female. That he confessed that he had a fat transfer to his labia, and that there is no penis. That is just a fat cat. They broke up the next morning.
This man got a juicy clip. Like this.
I was so thrown because for me,
don't they put the balloon in it? I thought when they get the dick fist, I thought when they get the sex change and stuff, they put the balloon in your rooster, you squeeze it and it swell up.
So there's a difference in what this person did, which was a fat transfer to their labia.
Or a
said, wow. Okay. And Stephanie said, WTF. So
what the
if you have the fat transfer is just them putting extra stuff in your labia to make it a bigger clit.
But what you gonna do with that?
But if you have an actual sex change,
rooster,
that's when it's the change.
They put the balloon in there and the nerves.
Yeah.
Man, listen. That motherfucker pulled his pants and sausages. That's funny as hell, man. What Stephanie say? WTF? What the fat transfer in this?
Yeah.
God damn.
So I mean, I guess the issue that now in this society, most people have gotten to where they are very upfront with if they were born female and they're transgender, transsexual, whatever.
They were a boy.
They tell people, because so many things have happened in the past when they would try to hide it first and then come out to their person. that they don't usually hide it. So the fact that it's that is like in a today, and damn, that bitch was tall for 6'2".
Well,
Yeah.
I guess we on the subject of this stuff. I have an announcement to make.
Mhm.
I'm a lesbian.
I'm sure you are.
But no, but you know what? Like all jokes aside, right? When this 6'2" man woman, what was the fat transfer gonna do? Like I would like to know the thought process behind the fat transfer.
So with a actual sex change is actually very dangerous for the person who has it done. They can get easily infected and die from it. So some people choose to not do that, but they do the fat transfer so that it's like a little, like she said, a micro penis.
What that's gonna do?
The same way that women rub uglies for friction, she's rubbing with a smaller little whatever. Also, some of the strap-on toys are designed for the pleasure of the male partner's section.
Yeah.
And so she can get more enjoyment out of that being there as well and then put on. But she just didn't do it right. Whatever would happen, she just didn't do it right.
So they just bumping monkeys.
Yeah.
Margaret got some fat took out her ass and put in the clitoris. The hell?
He said, wow.
I feel sorry for that woman. She's probably never the same.
I'm sure she won't be. She probably is not going to trust anything or anybody that she meets going forward.
She gonna be reaching back there while sex going on too. Like I was talking about last week, she's gonna be reaching back there.
Some balls hanging.
At some point, you know that you just can't be doing no oral all that time. You're gonna have to go in the dungeon. Well, and this will pull out the kielbasa. The little smokies. Yeah, right. It don't even get
like you said,
hard.
but the fat transfer doesn't get hard. She should have known. So that's not true because your clit can get slightly hard depending on the stimulation. So that can get hard. It just
apparently I have not encountered a clitoris big enough where I have felt it and it's gotten hard. If I ever encounter a clitoris that get hard, that will be some of the most amazing shit I have ever encountered. And that might actually do something to me. It might.
I'm just telling you. It
a hard clit, huh? It makes the clit hard. Oh, Lord, I can't tonight. Y'all, boy, listen, I learned something today. I have never encountered a large enough clit that got hard. Or maybe I just didn't care.
Or you weren't paying no attention.
Well, I'm a very intricate person. So, once you get, it's like an eye almost. You kind of go right.
So this is the question. So have you dipped back after the climax happened?
Yeah, I'm a back dipper. I go back.
I'm saying like immediately after the field, do the feels.
Oh, do I feel something? Do I go back and touch it?
Yeah.
No, I go back in it though.
But try to touch it next time. Stephanie did a giggle.
I don't want to get too intricate on the show. But there has been times that I have did the double dip. Remember I told you about my philosophy with the pool ball? Right. So if I dip and I come from the top, there's a hard, rub, but I just figure, that's the, you know what I'm saying?
I get, yeah.
I come from the top.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what that was. A little hard clit rubbing up on my rooster.
Could be.
Some bitch. See at GoddeSShips, you learn something every day. I'm telling you. See, that's something new for me. I didn't know that. Hell no, I think that a hard clit. Now I'm gonna talk shit to women. Now you clear hard. You clear hard.
Yeah.
You got a lump in your labia, motherfucker.
Did I make you a little hard?
Because I get a lump in my Levi's, so y'all get lumps in your labia around.
Oh,
Okay, then. All right. Lord have mercy.
That's it for my questions. Your turn.
Okay, well, I don't know which way to go at this point.
You can go whichever way you want to
go. Dang. Well, since we're talking about fat labias and shit, chunky labes, can you? Here's one. Can women truly deal with the fact that a man sometimes only wants intimate relations without the follow-up fluff or the preemptive fluff? For those who do not understand what I'm saying, let me break it down in layman's terms.
Mm-hmm.
Can women truly deal with the fact, please, Lord, Mama, let my mama be watching tonight. God help me. Can women deal with the fact that sometimes men just want to fuck? They don't want to cuddle. They don't want to be hugging. They don't want to do no foreplay, nothing. They just want to get in, skeet, and get out.
Yeah, because sometimes women just want that too.
Yeah, but for the most part, it'd be a lot of them like, he doesn't touch me, doesn't hold me. You know, sometimes you just want to release the stress.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's a higher percentage of men who feel that way. There's a percentage of women who like that too. But I don't think the percentage is as large as men. Because for the most part, most women you run into, they want some type of intimacy with the act. You know what I'm saying?
So the intimacy with the act comes from the person themselves, if you want to feel that closeness with them. But it's plenty time. I don't give a about what you got going on in your day. We ain't got to cuddle before, after, none of that. Give me what I want. And I might get up and go if I ain't there. It's like, all right, thanks for the good times. Smooches, see you later. I'm out. But like, we ain't got to do no discussion or no extra questions or none of that. Oh, Kim said, yeah, that's called friends with benefits.
No. I'm speaking more so if you in a relationship.
Oh,
I'm speaking more of in a relationship.
It's plenty times we ain't got to do no cuddling. This is what we finna get down to get down on or whatever.
But for the most part, a lot of women would be like, hey, you don't cuddle, why you didn't touch me after? So.
Oh no, I don't. Well, okay, so let me preempt this. Stephanie said exactly. So preempt this for me.
Mm-hmm.
A person that knows me and how I am is sometimes whatever. They used to call me dude a little bit because they was like I was very disconnected with them. I feel all that we need to cuddle all the time and all of that. I ain't with that. I'm cutting dry on some stuff. And it'd be like, you be talking to people like you a dude a little bit. So my emotions may be a little dudeish. So I personally, I ain't got to have all that. I mean, every once in a while, if we in that, that's that mood, then okay. But
right.
Gotta be no all the time, majority of the time, nothing. Because let me get it. If we do what we do, like, I'm gonna jump up and go and do something else. And hey, babe, lay there, and I, you want a sandwich?
You. I'm sorry.
I believe that would be called a quickie. It ain't even got to be quick.
No, because
that could be some long. That could be some getting it in. It ain't even got to be no quickie, but we ain't got to do all that extra stuff either.
Right, but it's some people
we got to do it high play.
It's some people do it quick and they be like, oh, fine, and they be cuddling and shit. Like, fine. That's funny. Fine. Oh, fine. Anyway.
Jackie said, yes, they can, but if it happens continuously with no cuddling, then there is a problem.
That's why I said at times, like sometimes. I'm only saying sometimes. Like if it's going on all the time, then you just come bucket. But I'm saying sometimes. Cause I know I've been in relationships and there have been times where I don't be wanting to do all the I just want to go and I'm out. I just need a release. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been stressed out. I just want to and keep it moving. Go get something to eat afterwards or something. Watch the Cosby Show. Shit like that.
You can go up front and do some other stuff.
Right. You can go upstairs. You can go upstairs. You understand what I'm saying? I can go down. Like sometimes I just want to.
Ain't nobody going upstairs. Ain't nobody going upstairs.
Take your ass upstairs.
Amazing how she came in at that point.
Anyway. Look at God. Look at my God.
Don't put God in that shit. Look at
He brought me in right at the right time.
Moving on.
Hugs used to be do this, but not so much now.
Right. Moving on to the next question. So, let's see here. What else I got?
Wait a minute, Fat Goddess, do you need to cuddle all the time, every time?
Yes.
Oh shit. Oh, what is we gonna do? Help us, Jesus.
Wait, no, was that the question? Was that the question? I'm sorry.
You want to ask it real quick again?
The question was, can women truly deal with the fact that a man sometimes only wants intimate relations without the follow-up fluff or the preemptive fluff?
Oh.
For example, foreplay and shit like that.
Oh.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, she won't.
Wait, let me just say this though. No, seriously. You learn a lot, seriously, in all seriousness. You learn a lot from your male friends and like male relatives about that topic in general, because you have to know that that's not always what a guy wants, and don't take it personally when he doesn't want that. You know what I'm saying? So for the females that want the fluff and the hugs and the cuddle all the time, if they don't have a connection to a male to break certain things down to them, that can be they can personalize it and feelings be hurt and be all emotional about it.
Well, maybe you need to talk to some of your male friends and they explain to you why the fuck you need to go upstairs during football games.
Oh,
Jackie said she do use go say yes because she want to cuddle during football game.
Well, we talked about last week. She talking about she gonna be downstairs with the guy during the football game. The guy don't want to be bothered with none of that shit.
Yeah. No, so I'm just saying. I understand even about the football game, but
shocking.
Stephanie said I agree.
All right, I'm gonna move on.
That's fine, FloydGod.
Now the problem is I don't know if there's any brothers in the chat room tonight, so I don't know if I can ask this question. And when I ask the question, I might be standing alone. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna throw it out here, and if we don't get no reception, I'm just gonna move on to another question. Okay.
Okay.
Fellas, if a soft stud approached you for sex, but you in a relationship, would you go?
Dang.
Now for all y'all who don't understand the difference, you have hard studs like them girls who did that Brittany Griner tribute. That was some bullshit. And then you have soft studs. They act like men, dress like men, but every now and then they want a little penetration. You did. I actually cheated on the mother of my kids with a soft stud in the same house.
Really?
So look, I'm gonna tell you this quick story while I'm waiting for the guys to chime in. So at one point in my life, the mother of my children we had our first child, right? And so we was kind of going through some rough times. So she was staying with a friend of hers in the projects. So I decided to join, right? And so we all got drunk one night. And so her friend had decided that she was gay all of a sudden. After having like 55 kids, she decided she gay. I guess she got tired of dick after having all the motherfucking kids. So anyway, she decides she gay now, right? So she brings this girl over, and the girl, they just had them nicknames. The stud bras had the nicknames and shit. She called herself Thug Passion. The fuck out of here, right? So anyway, we playing cards and shit. We get drunk. Everybody pass out. They go in their room. Me and the mother of my kids go in our room. And because we do because we drunk, drunk folk don't fuck. So we fuck around. So you have to take that after sex piss. So I get up and go to the bathroom, and I'm pissing. Somebody knocking at the door profusely. But it's real soft. So I'm like, what's going on? Open the door, it's shawty. She ain't got nothing on but like a cover. Right? So I'm like, you all right? And I remember we still kind of, like, you all right? She like, yeah, she come in the bathroom and shit. I'm like, what's up? She like, at 9 then, I be wanting a little penetration. I'm a soft stud. Now, keeping it real, I had never heard of that shit until that night. Well, I couldn't pass up an opportunity because, like I told you about the girl that was locked up for 10 years, it might be vice grip time. You see what I'm saying? So we went to the front room and we had what we'll call quiet fucking. And I beat that stud up in that front room and went back in the room with my baby mom. I sure the fuck did. I was not fast enough for that opportunity at all. Now, I don't know if she went back in the room with her little girlfriend and they got the coffee munching, and it might have been a Twinkie afterwards. I don't know. But was that too soon? But I'm just saying. So apparently ain't no fellas on the show because ain't nobody chiming in, so we're going to move on. Okay?
We ain't gliding over this shit.
Yeah, we're going to move on.
No. So I have questions.
Moving on. Moving on. Not fast enough opportunity. It's vice grip. Vice grip. Fellas, you know what vice grip means, don't you? I ain't fast it up. Yeah. So moving on to the next question. You have questions. Go ahead, Keely. Go ahead. All right.
So soft stud.
Yeah.
Thug passion.
Yeah.
Did she ask you, do you want some of this thug passion?
No, she did not. She just said she was called a soft stud. And I was like, what was that? And she said she liked a little penetration there now and then. And she let me know that she desired for me to be the penetrator. And I felt like as a man as the only man in the house,
you had to oblige.
I must.
Because you couldn't pass.
In my mind, all I could feel in my mind was vice grip, vice grip, vice grip. And I didn't know what Kegels was back then. So vice grip, right? So you know, I did what I had to do. I helped her out.
Stephanie said, shaking my head. Well,
it was great too.
I'm glad that you enjoyed your time with the stud.
Soft stud. Because I ain't gonna hit no stud.
Oh, you gonna hit? Well, stud might not let you hit them, but it's
a soft stud. Soft stud might. The soft studs the ones that go.
Some of them studs do too.
They do, but if they go, that means they soft studs. Then they not really studs. They soft studs. At least that's what they called them back then. We talking about 15 years ago or more, right? So moving on. I'm gonna get off of these questions here. Let's see. I do something a little more serious.
Okay.
Why does compromising always seem like one person ends up sacrificing? Is it really a compromise, or is it that one person is really sacrificing for the other? So, like, you know how, like, you could be in a situation and it's like, okay, well, you don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, but we're going to meet in the middle. But your middle might be closer to that person. Or like whatever it is.
It's always closer to one person.
Right, or it's closer to what that person is feeling or whatever the case may be. So are you really compromising, or are you sacrificing because you care about or like the person, or for the benefit of the person, whether it's friends, family members, loved ones, relationships, whatever. So the question is, why does compromising always seem like one person ends up sacrificing?
So I think the difference, because, and are we asking, you said this is in any relationship.
It's any relationship situation, yeah.
So in any relationship, possibly you may have to compromise more than once. If you're the person who is always giving the extra leeway on the other side, then at that point it's no longer compromising. It is you allowing a sacrifice in every time. Now, if there is a give and take in the amount of leeway of which way it leans, at that point, I'll say it's compromising, because we're equally at some point giving a little bit more to the other person than I'm getting at that point in the compromise.
Right.
It's just a matter of, if every time we compromise and I'm giving up more than you are, that's a problem.
Right. And I agree. I think that, but I think, so like, let's look at it from a relationship point of view, or let's look at it from a a courting point of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're courting someone, right? I know I'm old school as fuck. You're courting someone, right? You might have really been into the person, right? You know, you call and you talk and you trying to show in you really own it, right? And then you trying, but it don't seem like it's being reciprocated. And to be fair, it could be situations that's going on in that person's life, right? It could be, right? Because shit happens, right? So you don't follow the person, but those situations you're at your peak of gung-ho-ness, right? And so those situations might have killed your morale. So now you all try to have conversations and say, okay, well, let's try to do what we're going to do. Well, meet me halfway in this situation, right? But meeting you halfway in this situation technically kind of benefits you. So it's almost like that person is sacrificing. Is it really a compromise, or are you sacrificing for the benefit of the person? You understand what I'm saying?
I completely understand what you're saying.
Some
So
compromises
my question at that point is, can there be a negotiation to get you more towards the middle?
It can be, but what if there are extenuating circumstances?
Then you have to decide if you want to sacrifice a little bit more in your compromise, or if you're going to stand on, we got to meet in the middle.
Right, exactly. I feel that. See, I feel that. That makes sense. So, do you feel in the general scope of things that compromising is really sacrificing? Because at the end of the day, when you compromise, it's really just one person saying, okay, I'm going to let you, or I'm going to do what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but sometimes it truly is a compromise, because it's we both want things that are on this total opposite side of each other.
Right.
And instead of me just saying, I ain't gonna do yours and you ain't gonna do mine, we figure out a happy medium.
So listen, the definition of compromise is an agreement or a settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. So at the end of the day, you're sacrificing.
But you're both sacrificing, because it says each party giving concessions. Not one person is and the other one is not.
So if the concessions are not equal, it's not a compromise.
It is not. And that's why I said, if you can't meet that happy medium, you have to then decide if you want to sacrifice and give up a little bit more to make the agreement occur. Okay. Shimbra said, hey, y'all.
All right.
Hi.
So with that said, I'll move on I'll see if we can get a couple more in, if that's okay.
Okay. All right.
So
is F.A.C.K.T still here?
I am.
Oh, if I said, look, I thought you weren't gonna say nothing, but if I'd have said upstairs or some shit, that motherfucker was like, yeah, right.
Did you have anything you wanted to comment on that?
Did you want to comment on that?
No, I was gonna read the definition of compromise, but he already did so.
Oh, okay.
I had looked up. I actually had this exact same conversation with a male friend of mine, and we were discussing the difference between compromise and sacrifice. And so, you know, he always likes to point out I'm the FACKTgoddess from the show. So I read the definitions of compromise and sacrifice, and I'm so proud of my podcast mates. You two summed it up just beautifully. So that's why I remain silent.
Well, thank you so much, man.
So look, you do well when I'm not present. You did the I love you but for the night, and I appreciate that.
Upstairs. So look here. So here's another, right? Can you truly hold down a long distance relationship? Now I'm gonna say this, right? Because I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing. I'm gonna say this to you. It's pros and cons. So long distance, you have to be very, very, very secure in yourself. I think that's very important. I think what happens in long distance relationships, especially if you're dealing with someone who is very outgoing, like they hang out a lot, they part, they do, right? I think that can pose a problem because you may not be as extroverted as that person. So if you always hearing this person, they going on trips, they at the club, they at the concert, they everywhere, right? And you be like, right? But you be trying, and you might just want them to come visit you, right?
I'm sorry.
But they done been to goddamn Lagos, Tobago, Putnam, every motherfucking where else, right? Every time you see them, they somewhere, right? But you can't get them to come nowhere near your vicinity around this motherfucker. But you try, so I think that can be a problem.
But what if they always come? If you say you want to see them, they still may be that outgoing, extrovert, everywhere person. But if you say you want to see them, they come. What about that?
And
That's
what
a
if
different situation. But if they're not coming,
but what if they do?
that's a different conversation. Then that means,
So
what is the frequency of them coming?
however
If
often you would like.
If they are like, whenever you want to see me, let me know, I'm there.
Come on.
So
somebody.
if you say, so you saying you call, I come, they coming.
Exactly.
In more ways than one. But I'm just saying, okay, then that's fine. That's fine, right? That's fine.
So then that can be sustainable,
right? If I say come and you come, great. But if that ain't the case, the fuck. And what happens with that can destroy the, and I hate using the word, this might sound weird, that can destroy the morale of the conversation. Like you might not want to be on the phone like that because you like, man, you know what I'm saying? It can destroy the morale of it to an extent. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, completely.
So yeah, it's important that they show up. Yeah.
Okay. So Jackie said you also have some type of routine for long distance when you're apart. That is very true.
You do. You have to have one. Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you don't have one,
Shambria said, if you want to see them, go see them.
But see, that depends though, because okay, so let me throw this out here. One person may have more of a means to travel to you than you do to them. You see what I'm saying? Your life might not allow you to move or be as flexible as they can do because y'all careers are different.
Yeah.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right.
Now,
so
can you repeat
said I actually agree with him.
What'd you say, F.A.C.K.Goddess?
I said, could you repeat your original question about long distance?
Can you truly hold down a long distance relationship?
Okay.
I think the answer is yes. It depends on the two people and their willingness to make it work.
So would you say that it can mess up the chemistry? I agree. So would you agree that maybe in those situations there needs to be a point where those two people sit down and have a real conversation of what the expectations are or what needs to be done?
Most definitely.
An understanding of flexibility, an understanding of what's your priority and what you're trying to build here. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So there needs to be a conversation.
Stephanie said, I just choose not to.
I can dig that. I dig that. I feel that.
I think that conversation needs to be had for multiple reasons. Like you said, one person may be able to travel more than the other person in terms of going. And instead of them always being the person that's expected to do it because they can, you should have a conversation so that both parties know that that's why that person is doing it, so that they don't feel some type of way. It's like, oh, you won't ever come see me, I'm always coming to see you. But if we've talked about this is the reason that you're traveling a majority of the time to see me, then you don't get that feeling at all. Shambria said, absolutely.
Right. I think that's very important that the conversation be had because if you go so long without seeing the person, those phone calls and shit don't mean nothing no more.
Oh,
And you don't really be wanting to do it. And so those conversations kind of wane. It doesn't mean that you feel any differently. It's just they wane because you know what I'm saying? You want to see the person or whatever the case may be. Okay,
and most times when you have a long distance relationship, you have talked about how often y'all want to see each other.
Right.
If make it possible.
Right. Okay, so we got time for a couple more or one more?
Yeah,
It's up to y'all. Okay, so here's one for you. This one should get y'all riled up. What if you knew your friend's wife or husband was cheating on them? Would you tell?
Oh, can I go first?
Your friend. Carry on.
So I don't know how other people are with their friends and families, but I literally ask my friends and family if their significant other was cheating on them and I knew about it, what they want to know. Some people want to know, some people do not. So for me, that's a no-brainer because I asked them, period, point blank. At some point in our friendship, I asked them, if I knew, would you want to know?
Mm-hmm.
What's my answer?
Hell motherfucking yeah. Tell it, right?
Tell me.
Yeah.
If you my friend, and I seen somebody cheat, if I got a homeboy or a homegirl and I see their significant other cheating, the first thing come to my mind is your life in danger. Because you know how I always be saying people be out here free fucking, they'll be wearing a rubber and shit. Like you putting somebody's life in danger out here, right? Even when you got a rubber or something on, because crabs, that's just a bridge for crabs. So, I would say something because I would want somebody to tell me. And then I would feel like I'm not a friend because I'm basically seeing someone hurt you. I can't be your friend if I'm seeing someone hurt you, whether directly or indirectly, and I don't say anything. I'm not your friend. So I gotta say something, and might whoop your ass before I go tell.
Stephanie said I would ask also. So Fat Goddess, quick question. At what point do you ask, when you first decide that you've become friends with this person, or at what point do you ask if they want to know?
Usually at the point that I feel like we're friends, because if we're associates, that's not my business. For me, there's a level to friendships. You could just be associated with that person. And for me, when I say associated, that means I don't know them well enough to gauge whether or not they would even care if I told them. So when I get into a position where I know you well enough and I feel like it's something that you would want to know, I'm going to ask to make sure that you would want to know. Because I have a relative that told me she would absolutely not want me to say anything and that I need to mind my business.
That's really deep.
Yes, it is.
That is like, that's deep on so many levels.
So many levels.
Right? So that's another show.
So that's one of the reasons why I became let me ask, because hell, I would have assumed that you would want to know.
Yeah, because some people get mad at the other person that tell them.
Yeah.
Now if y'all arguing, I ain't gonna get involved unless it gets to a certain point. Because I've had bad situations. Like, so my auntie, rest in peace. I used to live in Minnesota, and she was married to this dude, and her and him got into it. And I whooped this nigga. I whooped his ass, right? Cut all that. And 2 weeks later, they was back together looking at me sideways like I needed a VA. You know what I'm saying? And my mom told me, don't you be getting in people's shit because they'll get back together and won't even fuck with you no more. You be the enemy then. So I learned that, But if I see you putting your hands on somebody, I got to intervene. I can't allow that.
Most men,
if I see you putting your hands on a woman, I can't allow that shit. Like, I can't.
And see, most men will even do that for a stranger. They just don't believe in men hitting women. You know what I'm saying?
I can't sit there and watch you I can't sit and watch no grown ass man hitting on no woman, because y'all know my philosophy. If you're gonna beat something up, beat the monkey up. You ain't got to beat the girl up. Take it out on the monkey. So it's ways to deal with this shit. Take it out on the monkey. So so that's that.
Okay. So I have a little part B to that, and I'm gonna ask Fat Goddess this part.
She always asking me.
because I want to know because you asked questions, man.
Okay.
Okay, me.
Will said, has to be really close person for me to say something.
Right. Right. Of course. I feel it.
Um, so let's say that in developing a friendship, you forgot to ask.
Okay.
You see this person out, y'all are now friends. You
Okay.
see their significant other out cheating. You didn't ask. So are you still gonna say something, or are you gonna kind of be like, well, girl, let's say, because we friends now, that I seen your dude out and he was cheating. Would you want me to tell you? Would you do that, or would you just go on and tell at that point because you forgot to ask? How would you broach that?
Yeah, I'm gonna still ask them if they want to know. I have very, very, very slick ways of asking, even if I
Oh,
forget to ask. I've
girl.
had to do that before.
Well, I need to know the slick way because, baby, I ain't no slick way up. But you start asking me if I want you to tell me, bitch, you got something to tell me?
I'll
It's
be
all
like,
over,
hey,
right?
fam, you don't been drinking shit. I said out here.
Nah, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be a direct. It's always indirect.
Oh, no, I'm direct. Y'all been drinking.
Nah, not if I forgot. Direct is just like telling her.
I mean, well,
That's
yeah, well,
fine.
that's that. Well, we had different ways of approaching. I'm gonna
No,
tell
I'm
you.
just saying. She asked me. That's
Right now, I got you. I got you. I mean, for the
Yeah,
sake of her question, I figured it.
yeah,
I figured it.
yeah.
Okay, so one more when we done.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, one more.
he got into these old ifs.
What if your
Laddie.
significant other? What if your significant other was in a tragic accident?
Mhm.
Meaning, and now this could be two part. So, what if your significant other was in a tragic accident and they died? Would you stay in the relationship? Part two of that is,
Did you say
I
they
know,
died?
yeah, like you know how. Listen, because there are some people who are in relationships, right, and their significant other will die and they'll never date again. But remember,
Oh,
I'm giving you two parts.
okay,
The other
okay.
part is, would you, if your significant other was in a really bad accident and they lost certain functions,
Mhm,
would you stay with them? So if you were in a relationship with a guy and he was in an accident and he lost the use of his member,
mhm.
would you stay with him? And for the fellas, which it don't never be no brothers in the damn chat, goddamn. Um,
Woo.
brothers, if your lady was in an accident and she couldn't use her monkey, they had to get rid of it or something, would you still be with her? Now I know the answer I'm gonna say, but I'll digress.
Okay, so really quickly,
Rhyme with South.
Jackie was commenting on the previous one.
Right.
She said, I'm telling my bestie only when it comes to friends because anyone else might try to lie and
That's so
say I'm
good.
hating or etc.
Yeah.
And then Shambria said, they died. The relationship is over.
You
Oh,
ain't shit.
wait, because when he first posed the question, I was like, they dating they ghost. I was so
Listen,
confused.
did you see? My face went a little, I
You
was like,
ain't
they
yeah. You see
died?
what they
I'm
did?
like,
Yeah, you can go move on,
golly,
huh?
that's
Oh
a whole
damn, Ray
nother
Ray dead
episode.
on Monday. Guess we fuck around on Tuesday. God damn. Where's the love? Shit. Ain't no grieving period around this motherfucker. But okay, well, let's just focus on the whole. Let's focus on the second part.
Okay.
If your
No,
significant
let
other's
me.
in
I want to talk about the first part
Oh.
okay, go ahead. And then
Mhm.
we'll go to
only
the second part.
because when my best friend, my other best friend, y'all know I got like 3 or 4 of them for different reasons. They all know each other, so whatever. Um, when Goddess of the Coins,
Mhm.
went home,
Mhm.
I straight out almost jumped on her, what do you call him an ex after the one passes? I don't know. But her boyfriend, I almost wanted to fight him because he moved on and started dating. It was only, well, when I saw her, it was probably like maybe 4 months later. It was what I felt like was fresh. And so the reason I'm speaking on it is because people, I guess, grieve differently, people mourn differently. And it wasn't for me to determine when he was ready to move on, even though in that moment, because I was in my feelings about her not being gone that long, I was like, this shouldn't be happening. But I had to, speak to my counsel, and they were like, you got to let that go because you can't gauge how he's feeling. You don't know what all was going on with them. you can't determine when he's ready to move on. And if it's something, I guess, shiesty involved, it'll reveal itself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that to say some people are able to move on literally the next day. Um, and I guess when you're on the outside looking in, you can't determine if that's right or wrong. You can have your opinion about it, but you know what I'm saying? Who's to say they're right? Who's to say that they're wrong? That's why I wanted to comment on that piece, because I've seen it happen. I have another friend who lost a fiance that was pregnant in a traffic. It was in a car accident, and he was telling me he's still messed up from it, and it's hard for him to even commit in a healthy relationship because he feels like they were taken, and he's never been able to fully close that chapter. It's not like it was for him. It's not like they died naturally or she had a severe illness. He was like, they were taken. And so there's always a part of me that can never completely close that chapter, which makes me a difficult person to date. So just throwing out a couple of examples speaking to your part one.
Okay.
Well,
Sambria said, no, not like that. And she said it might take time to F another or even get involved with another. Moving on depends, but death ends the relationship, period. They died.
damn, you ain't. Yeah. Damn. That nigga in the ground, you down. That nigga dead. I'm about to find some new head. God damn. No, I'll just play. Well, if I'm in love, that's a different thing. If this was the love of my life, then I have two options. I'm either not going to date again, or I'm just going to sow my oats when it's necessary and never have a real relationship. I think those would be my two, for me, those would be my two options. Because I wouldn't be able to see myself giving myself the way I did if I really cared about that person.
Really?
Yeah. Like if I find the love of my life and they die, like I don't see, but I'm basing it on the type of person that I am.
Yeah.
Remember, I've never been married. I ain't got no eye. So for when I become a husband, or it's gonna be super duper. So I'm saying, if this is the love of my life, it's gonna be hard to do all that again because that was it for me. I don't think I would have the bandwidth.
You're planning on that being forever, so to speak.
Right. I don't think I would have the bandwidth to do that again because the amount of love that I put into that person.
And that's kind of like what he was saying.
Right. Like I couldn't do it again. But I probably would do some post shit like, I'd have sex here, get my release stress off, but it wouldn't be nothing about it. Wouldn't be nothing. You know what I'm saying?
So I can speak a little bit from a different side. Wait a minute. So Shambril said, wow, life goes on. Floyd, you do not think you'll ever find another love?
Nah, if that's my person. There was another one before that.
Oh, let me see. Oh, I would stick around if love is there. A relationship can have intimacy and intimate moments without intercourse.
Well, like I said, she talking about the one, like the second part. She talking about the second part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, these ghost relationships are blowing my mind.
So I can speak from actually a little bit different. So because I felt like Daryl was my person, period, point blank. And I was looking for that to be forever. So I also believe that God does not create us to be alone. So I feel like there's a possibility that somebody could possibly come along that I can feel those same feelings for. Maybe not on the same level, but because you can never love another person like you love somebody else. However, but I still feel like I could do another relationship or be married with if the right person was to come along. But I also, on the flip side of that, because I feel like he was my person, I don't necessarily know if there's a person out there that's like that. Like, I ain't saying that I can foresee it, but I would hope that I wouldn't have to not feel that same type of love the rest of my life, because I ain't but 43.
Right.
I don't want to be 70 and not have experienced anything like I felt with him again. That's a horrible life.
I'm gonna be an old hoe.
Old hoe don't give you the same feeling as love.
I'm saying if that happened to me and I lose the love of my life, I'm just gonna be an old hoe.
That's what you think until somebody else come along and give you that little tingle feeling.
I don't think I would allow it though.
You ain't gonna be able to fight it. That's the whole thing. When it comes.
I'll be like a Marion. Say I really want to turn me back, but I'm trying to fight it.
Yes. Yeah. And you ain't gonna be able to do it. You gonna be trying. You gonna fight it.
I mean,
you're gonna be doing like old boy fighting it, but knock your ass.
I just was gonna say, I think you could speak on part 2 as well.
Yes. So with part 2, when he became sick, there was none of that. He was upset about it. He was very, very upset about it. And he was also concerned because he's like, how are you okay if we can't be intimate in that way anymore? But because of, like I said, that was my person, like none of that mattered. Like we had other ways of being intimate without being physical with each other. So I didn't miss that because he was my person. And that was just that.
Well, I must say, if I have a person and they get into some tragic situations where they can't have the use of certain limbs, I'm going to be proactive because I play chess, so I always think ahead. I'm going to have a mold made of their member, their person, and then we'll just have to utilize mouth and mold. Mouth and mold.
What?
We're going to have to work it out like that. But I'm not going to cheat. I ain't going to walk away.
But you do know they sell kits that you can do that.
Make the mold?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to make the mold. Mouth and mold. M&M. And I ain't talking about the candy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I stick around.
It's feasible.
I'm about to work it out. Mouth and mold.
Oh, my God.
Because I ain't going nowhere where it say exit. I ain't with that shit. Hold your mud, bitch. I'm going in. No, I'm cool.
It probably was nobody here the last episode to apologize, but I'm back. I am so
no, we good.
We did it for you. We did it for you.
We good. Mouth and mold.
We did it for you.
God.
You got to show him that you care. Girl, I know you can't use it, but I'm gonna abuse something else. I got you.
Are you gonna have her moan while you doing it so you can?
Hey, look, this is episode of Family Guy. It's an old episode of Family Guy where Brian the dog went back to school and the teacher was like Stephen Hawking, and so he was like, "You aren't going to do," and he was married, and so they was having sex and they was hitting the button. He was like, "You like this? Is this good? Stop it! You're hurting me." That shit was funny than a motherfucker. Well, yeah, I have a moan. She had to steal moan. I'm gonna touch it where she can feel something. We might have to have ear sex or something. I don't know. We're gonna work it out. I'm dedicated.
Oh.
I'm going to hell. I see y'all in hell.
It's just gonna be me and you because they're helping me quiet.
I'm be like, what's dude on the Boondocks that went to hell? His name was Stick Meaner.
Yeah.
He was Stick Meaner, and he was like, what the fuck say? He's like, that child Stick and came back. I love him. Stick Meaner was my dude. Be right in hell. It's gonna be us. Hot.
Go on and apologize, fat guy. You know you want to.
I already did. I apologize.
With a vagina mold.
Oh my goodness, help us.
I'm being held with a vagina mold with a fat transferred labia on it.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry again. So sorry.
Well.
What is we gonna do? What is we gonna
do? Well. Hey, look, people in wheelchairs still have sex, so just remember that.
Why is he whispering that? We know they still have sex.
One lady described to
and
me
then
how
said,
it happened.
and then said, remember that.
Yeah, the lady described me how it happened. I get hit on by a lady in the wheelchair. She broke down how she broke it down like how what happened because she had a catheter, and I was like, I don't know how this gonna work.
Whoa.
But you got to drain all that out. You know?
Oh, there's always listen.
She explained it all to you?
Yeah, this is back in my
And then
youth.
you ask the probing questions.
Of course.
That's
Like, how are we gonna do that? You
Y'all
got
so
a catheter.
crazy.
Listen, this always goes awry.
You want me to take off your
Always.
pants? I don't know what's happening.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll talk about that after the show because I want to know.
Oh my
Steph
God.
Brill said, good night, y'all. Floyd and Keely, y'all too much.
Always.
See, the problem is y'all don't want to deal with the realities of the world we live in. And the world we live in, everybody doing something. Y'all see ugly people on TV every day in paternity court. Somebody hit that shit. Everybody getting it these days. So it ain't nothing taboo around here. Nothing.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
You damn right. And some of y'all be beholding some straight bullshit. But y'all do what y'all do. Like them brothers that be at the club at night after last call, all the pretty girls that got snatched up, but you horny. So you like, damn, I gotta fuck one of these ugly motherfuckers. All right, come on, bring your ass on right.
Don't take that old booger wolf on with
Right,
you.
you gotta take her on home, lights out. You got one candle burning, just enough so you can see where to put it. Because you don't want to see shit else. Y'all have an understanding that she is not staying the night. You got to go.
Vampire.
And don't be making no noises because booger wolves make different noises than regular women. They be like,
Oh, I am so sorry to the viewers out there that are silent. I know
Look,
y'all don't want to say
like,
anything.
it be sounding like that episode. Remember on Beloved? When he said with the ghost, Beloved, Beloved, Beloved.
Oh my God.
Oh, Stephanie said, well, damn, Floyd.
I'm just keeping it real. I look, we are people in Chicago. Y'all done been in Francis. Once Francis get ready to close and all the cute people gone, y'all be wanting to get your little rock off, and that strobe light doesn't stop lighting up no more. So you really get to see what them motherfuckers look like. You got to choose. Up. You got to choose between skeet and integrity. And that skeet be outweighing that integrity like a motherfucker. Next thing you know, you at home with Booger Wolfina. Look, you better not tell nobody. This is between you and me.
Just wow. Wow.
Is that the last question?
Is all hearts, minds, and catheters clear?
FACKTgoddess, do you have I love you but this evening?
Y'all did it already. Compromise.
Okay.
Sacrifice.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a quick little quote to close us out.
Okay.
Really?
Our lives are not determined by what happens to us, but how we react to what happens. Not by what life brings us, but the attitude we bring to life.
Look at you. Look at you. All right, then.
I don't know who said that. That's unknown. I don't
know. I feel like singing Reading Rainbow out there. I can be anything. Take a look. It's in our book.
Oh, wow.
You know, I had that t-shirt on the other day, and this dude gonna ask me you know what he asked me? Because niggas don't read. All he saw was the rainbow. You think my big black ass out here alphabeting it? Come on, bro. Say Reading Rainbow, fam. LeVar Burton.
Oh, he asked you if he was gay?
Yeah, he asked me, was I gay?
Oh, wow.
I said, bro, it's Reading Rainbow, bro. Ain't no alphabets on here. It's Reading Rainbow. Spell a word.
Well, you do know the gays read, and you're on rainbow.
Come on, somebody.
But you know what? I'm saying I can't even enjoy the rainbow on my shirt.
You can. Most black people know what Reading Rainbow is.
Right. He didn't know. I think he was touched and not by an angel.
He could have been. I don't know.
Are you part of the LGBTQ community? Are you part of this foot about to go in your motherfucking ass?
Oh, no violence.
That was a moment for you to educate.
No, it wasn't. Fuck him.
Okay, or not.
No, I'm educating this foot, this fitting.
No, we're not going to do that. We don't condone violence here on GoddeSShips.
Well, it wasn't going to be violence. It's called an understanding.
Mm.
Wow.
Well, if all hearts and minds are clear.
Yeah, all hearts, minds, capitals, everything.
All right.
All right, Lord.
Well, that concludes our show for this evening. Thank you all for joining us as we do our best to give you the content you deserve. Feel free to keep the conversation going below. We do look forward to reading them and we respond. Again, thank you for watching. If you have not, make sure to thumbs up this video, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, subscribe, and click or bang that notification bell so that you are notified when we have new episodes. It's next Monday, good Monday. Yep. All right. We will see you all next Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
I'm
On
glad
Goddess.
all your kids in school. I'm glad all your kids went back to school. I'm glad all your badass kids went back to school. I'm so glad. Nothing like waking up seeing a little bad school bus. Thank God, it's education.
Because every ship matters.
All ships aren't the same.
And life is lived on ships.
Good night.
Shout out to the little people